Paul Warfield was a big play machine. An Ohio native, Warfield was a star athlete at Warren G. Harding High School, lettering in football, baseball, basketball, and track. On the gridiron, he was a two-way player, excelling at defensive back and running back, scoring 185 points across his junior and senior seasons. While he was also good enough on the baseball diamond to be offered a major league contract, he instead chose to stay close to home and attend Ohio State University, where he could focus on football and track. Once in Columbus, Warfield continued wreaking havoc as a two-way halfback. His 540 scrimmage yards and 6 touchdowns in 1961 helped OSU go undefeated and earn a national championship. On the track, he was a legitimate Olympic prospect, thriving as a broad jumper, hurdler, and sprinter, but ultimately had his sights set on football. Heading into the 1964 draft, he was widely considered one of the top prospects in his class and would be drafted by the Buffalo Bills of the AFL in the 4th round before being drafted by the Cleveland Browns of the NFL in the 1st. It was a dream come true for the kid who identified with the Browns his entire life and grew up idolizing Otto Graham and Marion Motley. Initially expected to be a defensive back, the Browns converted Warfield to wide receiver after head coach Blanton Collier saw his athletic ability up close during minicamp. And the rest, as they say, was history. With the help of former Browns standout wide receiver Ray Renfro's mentorship, Warfield made the transition seamlessly, finishing his rookie year with a career-high 52 receptions for 920 yards and 9 touchdowns. His ability to stretch the field and draw double coverage opened things up for star running back Jim Brown and fellow wide receiver Gary Collins. In true storybook fashion, Warfield's magical season would not only end in a Pro Bowl nod, but an NFL championship, where the Browns steamrolled the heavily favored Colts 27-0. Unfortunately, the young star would hit a speed bump in year 2 after shattering his collarbone in the 1965 Chicago College All-Star Game, causing him to miss most of the year. He was able to suit up for the championship game, but the Browns still came up short, falling 23-12 to the Green Bay Packers. Warfield stayed healthy for the next 4 seasons and averaged 40 receptions, 849 receiving yards, and nearly 9 touchdowns per year. His ridiculous 21.2 yards per catch was the 3rd highest among players with a minimum of 110 receptions during that span, and he was a huge reason why the Browns made 2 more championship appearances. He also led the league in receiving touchdowns in 1968 and added another 2 Pro Bowl bids along with 1 All-Pro selection to his already accomplished resume. An immensely popular player, Warfield couldn't fathom what was about to come. In an effort to improve the quarterback position, the Browns traded Warfield to the inferior Miami Dolphins, who hadn't won more than 5 games in any of their first 4 seasons, for the 3rd pick in the 1970 draft. A trade that is still viewed as one of the most lopsided in NFL history. The Browns would use the acquired pick to select Purdue quarterback Mike Phipps, who had limited success in the league. Warfield, on the other hand, had a second act that was Hall of Fame worthy all on its own. Thriving as quarterback Bob Greasy's favorite target on a run-dominant Miami team that featured a trio of Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, and Jim Kick. With Warfield, the Dolphins became an immediate contender and reached the playoffs for the first time in franchise history his first year there. While they were bounced in the 1st round, the postseason appearance would be a sign of things to come, as Miami went on to become a dynasty, reaching the Super Bowl in each of the next 3 years, winning 2 of them, one of which included a perfect season in 1972, a record that still stands today. Warfield was a key ingredient to their turnaround. Between 1971 and 1973, he averaged 34 receptions, 705 receiving yards, and over 8 touchdowns per year. He was also named an All-Pro and Pro Bowler in each of those seasons, and once again led the league in receiving touchdowns in 1971. But perhaps most impressive was his 11 scores on a mere 29 receptions in 1973, with 4 of them coming in 1 half. Warfield would stay with Miami through the 1974 season before joining the Memphis Southmen of the fledgling World Football League for 1 year. The WFL would disband before the end of the 1975 season, leaving Warfield a free agent. Naturally, a reunion with Cleveland seemed imminent, and that is exactly what happened. Browns owner Art Modell would welcome back the speedster with open arms, and he would enjoy 2 more relatively productive seasons before hanging up his cleats in 1977. A member of the 1970s All-Decade team, Warfield was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1983, his first year of eligibility. During his 13-year career, he hauled in 427 passes for 8,565 yards and 85 touchdowns. While Miami's rushing attack rightfully receives a lot of recognition for their contributions to the Dolphins' ascension, Warfield was equally as important. His blazing speed and leaping ability not only commanded defensive attention, but they opened up the offense as a whole. While he yearned to make a bigger impact, he made the most of his opportunities and was also a willing blocker. Were he on a pass-first team, there's no telling how gaudy his stats could have been. His 20.1 yards per catch is the highest in NFL history among players who have at least 300 receptions. Truly a magician in cleats, no receiver may have done more with less. I want to thank you for watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Paul Warfield and where he ranks among the all-time great deep threats.